So originally this was meant to be a review on just the Egretech Powerbank, but me being such a fan of different power banks and different solutions, I pitted it against a few other options here. At the end, you'll see a comparison of price and watt hours and weight and stuff that will hopefully give you a good idea of how they all stack up. But for now, I'm just kind of showing the unboxing here of the Egretech. I will always come back to how crazy compact and how much power is in this thing. It's nuts. So this is me messing right now with the Bluetti 268 watt hour versus the Egretech, which is 260, I believe. Just charging different stuff with different stuff, kind of testing outputs, inputs. Different unique ways of charging the bank was really fun too, like just straight from this 12-volt battery directly in. And additionally, you can charge banks off of power supplies. Here's the Omni Charge 40 being charged directly off of a drone battery power supply, which is fun too. And then the coolest part, I think, of both of these, all of these banks really are a few of them, is I can drain my big drone batteries using them. I can like transfer the power over into them. Super handy. Yeah, I mean, here's another example of charging one with the other, seeing how much one can input, one can output. Sometimes they don't line up. The wattage varies, like they're, here's an example of wattage varying. That says 305 out, but that says 265 in. So don't know where we're losing all that wattage. That's a pretty thick cable. Yeah, and then of course, getting weird and just charging a bunch of stuff, including my one wheel, which is kind of crazy. Off of the Bluetti. So that is one thing the Bluetti has that the others don't, is like a much higher total output capacity. Like the Egretech, I think maxes out at 300, but the Bluetti maxes out around 600. So quite a bit more. But this is awesome how I can charge the one wheels off of it. It extends my brother-in-law's Pint X quite a bit more, and we can just carry this thing in the backpack. Yeah. And yeah, I mean, I use these things out on set, when I'm out shooting drone stuff. There's the Egretech powering some Inspire 3 batteries, topping those off, which is pretty sweet. And then, there's the Omni Charge charging some of our controller batteries off of USB-C. So yeah, we could have used those simultaneously or separate or however, but that's how I decided to use it. Yeah, this is cool. I mean, this is just me using the Omni Charge in a coffee shop. Again, in this case, it would have been interchangeable to use the Egretech or the Omnitech or the Omni Charge. But in this case, just wanted to test this one out, see how it worked mobile. Here's the different weights shown really quickly on a scale. Again, I'll have that chart at the end showing the comparison. Yeah, just fun to be able to charge really just about anything on AC around the house. When you start getting into the higher wattage, of course, it kicks it off and it won't charge. But in this case, we're just charging batteries, charging laptops, USB-C, USB-A, all works great. No complaints there on any of them, really. So, yeah, man, and wow, I charge a lot of GoPro batteries too, and it's nice to have a crazy USB splitter, charging off of AC as well. So, yeah, so here's the chart. I tossed the Anchor Slim in at the bottom just to kind of compare it against all the other more expensive, bigger banks. But I think the most interesting comparison to look at here is the Egretech 300 versus the Bluetti. If you look across at the green watt hours, they're almost identical. And the Egretech is, 20, 30 bucks cheaper. And the biggest thing is way, way lighter, like half the weight. So, the thing missing from this chart obviously is like total power output simultaneously. And in that way, the Bluetti would win every time. Like the different options you have for that thing output, you have 12 volt, you have AC times 2 up to 600 watts. You have three USB-C ports. It's a lot of options, or at least one USB-C and 2A, I think. So yeah, the other thing with the Bluetti that you get that's cool is You get Bluetooth where you can connect to it remotely and do settings and change things, turn it off, turn it on. There's a little light on it, which is cool, things like that. But yeah, it's definitely tough to see the Omni all the way at the end there, just how stinking expensive that thing is. And to me, it kind of comes down to a looks thing. Like, it looks pretty cool, but it doesn't do more than 100 watts output on AC, which feels kind of low, especially compared to the Egretech. Yeah, one thing I didn't show in the video was the SharGeek Storm. That thing has been really, really cool for me, mostly because it can do DC output variable. Like, you can put variable numbers to the output on that, so you can power just about anything that requires DC input on it. And the other thing I didn't talk much about is the Hyperjuice USB-C pack. That one's just 4 USB-C outputs that you can do laptops on, phones on, things like that. But yeah, hope this was insightful, at least just for a basic comparison between these. But realistically, for the budget, for the capacity, for the output power, I'm going Egretech on this one for sure. Followed closely by, I don't know, the Omni 40 is just cool. It looks cool. It's sleek. Only thing is, it's just missing quite a few features, like no Bluetooth connectivity, low wattage output on AC. So, the Blue Yeti is incredible, again, just because of how much it can put out all at once. That's pretty crazy, but it still gets trumped by the Egretech, in my opinion, because it's just not as portable. You can't slip it into a backpack. It's heavy, it's big, it's bulky. So that's that.